Moved to Sacramento 4 years ago. How do you guys like Sacramento?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. My buddy back east, my buddy John, I'm gonna trip on this one. My buddy back east, he calls me and he goes, "You're so lucky you live in California." And I'm like, "No, dude, I don't live in California. I wish I lived in California. I live in Sacramento." So how do I explain it to him? I'm like, it's like going to an epic music festival. Like you're there, you're at the festival, but you're spending the whole day in the porta potty. That's Sacramento. Oh. So I was living on the streets at 16, and since my therapy sessions never are long enough, I'm going to just bring it right here to you guys. All right? So at 16 years old, I was living on the streets. I was a homeless teenager, and it was really rough, and I've been through a lot of shit, but I've come a long way. Through belief in myself, through the power of God, I am now a homeless adult. My wife has a house, though. She does let me stay there from time to time, usually on the couch, so that works out. It's a little tricky because she has kids. Any of you guys ever date someone with kids? You ever date someone with kids? Yeah? It's really awkward. You don't quite know how to connect with them. In my case, it's especially tricky because they're my kids. So I never met my dad, and then never meeting your dad and being a dad is a special kind of mind fuck, you know? It's like I never had those experiences. I never played catch in the yard. You know, I never got taken to a baseball game. I never got called a pussy for crying. You know, like these crucial masculine experiences that we need. But the good news about not having a dad is I get to write my own script. I get to create my own path, you know? Like, for holidays, we create our own holiday traditions. So, like, say something like Columbus Day. What we do is we discover the neighbor's house, right? We kill all the men, we rape all the women, we make the children dig in the backyard for gold, and it's hilarious because they're never going to find it. Make America genocidal again, right? So I was a homeless teenager, and at the same time I was addicted to black tar heroin, which is fucked. But luckily, I have not touched a drug in 23 years. I mean, I smoke weed, take acid, Molly, mushrooms, stuff like that, but no drugs. You know, because weed is not a drug. Weed is like a seasoning, you know? And psychedelics are like therapy, the way I look at it, you know? Like, have you heard people talk about how they do this thing called microdosing? Have you heard of this? Yeah, pussies. If you're not watching your face melt in the mirror for 8 hours at a time, you are not doing your inner work. Alright? So I was a homeless teenager. I was a heroin addict, and I was a vegan, a raw food vegan, which is a crazy contradiction, to be addicted to heroin and also be vegan. Like, I'm high as fuck, I'm nodding out with my buddy, and he's injecting black tar right into his neck, right? And he offers me a chocolate milk, and I'm like, "Nah, man, I don't put that shit in my body." So, I have another friend, he says he won't give homeless people money because he's afraid they're going to buy drugs. I get it, but isn't that what he was going to do with the money anyway? You know? So he says he gives them food, and I get the idea, but he doesn't understand withdrawal. Like, when you're in heroin withdrawal, you do not need food. It's like your skin is like shrinking over your body. You got the shakes, you're sweating at the same time, you got diarrhea, which is especially tricky when you're homeless, right? And some dude hands you a fucking sandwich. What are you going to do with a sandwich? Plus, it's a turkey sandwich. I ain't putting that shit in my body. So I'll hand them a couple bucks, and I let them decide. Maybe they need a tarp. Maybe they need some socks. Maybe they need some crack and a hooker. You know, it's up to them. Let them decide, you know? And sometimes, because buying drugs can be difficult, I take it one step further. And I'll actually bag up little baggies of OxyContin, and I go hand those out. And it's going to be very popular down at the tent city. Like a junkie Santa Claus kind of thing, right? But sometimes they have kids. You know? And that's really tricky because I don't know the dosage for the little guys. Like, what are you, like 25 pounds or something? So how do I get enough drugs to just hand them out willy-nilly? I'm not a drug dealer. I don't go down to Mexico with a prepaid debit card and a fake ID and fill my spare tire full of pills and smuggle them across Border Patrol. That would be excessive, right? Like any other upstanding citizen of this fine country, I get my drugs from my doctor. I go to my doctor and I say, "Wow, doc, I'm in pain." He's like, "Would you like some Vicodin? Would you like some Tramadol? How about a fentanyl lollipop for the road?" A fentanyl lollipop? A fentanyl lollipop? That's a real thing. A fentanyl lollipop. I ain't putting that shit in my body. But it would be perfect for the kids. Thanks, doc. That's